Welcome to the Homebuyer Bootcamp. I'm super excited that you're here. You've just started your home buying journey, and I'm happy to be your guide. So let's begin. Buying a house is best with a guide, kind of like river rafting. Now, look at these faces. They're all smiles. They are equipped and ready to go down the river. And we want you to feel comfortable and confident in buying a house, just like these guys feel comfortable going down with their guide. So today's objective is to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident in moving forward. And we're also going to help you avoid making the most common mistakes home buyers make. Now, just take a look at this group. They're out in the rapids without a guide, and it's a bit crazy out there. Buying a home without the proper information and guidance can feel much like this. And I am so happy that you're here because we're going to make sure that you do not have to go through the home buying process and feeling this way. Hi, my name is Kenny Williams, and I am the owner and designated broker of Gold House Realty. Fun fact, my last name actually means protector, and I'm a former athlete. I played D1 basketball with Gonzaga University in Spokane, Washington. And then I became a real estate broker. And I became a real estate broker because I believe that real estate is the key to a better way of life. I've been selling homes since 2016, and each family that I help brings me much joy. And so I'm happy to serve you. I've worked with clients like the Kenley family. They were expecting their fourth child and they needed a much bigger space. We utilized FaceTime in order to narrow down some of the houses that they were looking at, the neighborhoods they were looking in. And we negotiated a really awesome deal, got them below asking. And it all started from, a consultation just like this. I've also worked with clients like the Noun family. They were engaged to get married. They're blending two families and they needed more space. So we negotiated a super awesome deal, had enough bedrooms for everyone. And it all started from a home buyer workshop just like this. I've also worked with clients like the Jackson family. This was a lovely couple. They were engaged, getting married late in the summer. We were actually in a bidding war where there were multiple offers. We negotiated and wrote a letter of the heart to the seller and was able to get their first home. This all started from a home buyer consultation where we sat down and figured out what their needs are. Something just like this, whether it's getting married, starting a family, taking a new job, or simply making a life change. I'm here for people just like you, and I'm going to help you move in one simple and seamless transaction. Now, there is a lot of information out there, but first, let's talk about all of the misconceptions that are out there. One common misconception is that you need 20% down in order to buy your first home. This information is based on some old information out there. You actually have some financing options now. And depending on your situation and your goals, you may have different lending options where you need little to zero money down. So there is a FHA option, there's a conventional option, and there's some alternative financing. But just know that you don't need 20% down. You can actually put down less. Another common misconception is that you need to have perfect credit in order to buy a home. Only 1.67% of consumers out there have perfect credit. So you don't need to have perfect credit. A minimum credit score needed for a conventional mortgage is somewhere around 620. And for FHA, it's 580. And in which credit scores range from 300 to 850. If you're the kind of person that can make the effort to build or improve your credit, it will be in your best interest. You will get better options. Another common misconception is that you should wait until the interest rates go down. Well, over the last 30 years, the average interest rate is around 8%, and currently we're below that. If you wait till rates drop, more home buyers will enter the real estate market, making it more difficult for you, and there's a chance that home prices will increase. Another common misconception is the people around me are great advice givers when it comes to real estate. Have our best intentions. They want to protect us, but they're not necessarily armed with the best and most accurate and up-to-date information. So trust your real estate advisor. Even the ones who have bought a home, if they haven't bought in this market, they may not know how to navigate the real estate process in today's current conditions. If this is your first home purchase, then another common misconception is that buying a home is scary. Just know that knowledge is power. And just like when kids are afraid of the dark, purchasing a home is only scary when you don't know what is happening and you have no idea what's going on. So after this workshop, you'll be armed with more information than most home buyers out there. And so you should feel comfortable and confident about buying your next home. And lastly, another common misconception is I have to be worried about getting screwed over. Now, in this workshop, we're going to go over all of the ways the contract is built in your favor. We're going to go over the ways it's going to protect you and keep you from getting screwed during the home buying purchase. Let's talk a little bit about the real estate market, what was happening in 2022 and what's happening today. So, why did the mortgage rates rise in 2022? Well, in 2022, inflation reached an all-time high in the last 40 years, and you probably felt the pinch at the gas station. You probably felt a little bit of a pinch at the grocery store. As a general rule, when inflation is low, mortgage rates tend to be lower, and when inflation is high, rates tend to be higher. So what's happening with the home prices? Well, the headlines are probably a little bit confusing, but based on the supply and demand in the local real estate market, because of the housing shortage, we will see home prices increase moderately as long as there is a shortage of homes for people. So you may be wondering, how does the interest rate affect my home buying power? Let's say the interest rate is 7% and you want to keep your payment less than $3,000 per month. Then you can buy a $440,000 house according to this graph. And then if rates decrease to 6.25%, then you can afford to buy a $480,000 house. Because the rates dropped, your purchasing power increased by $40,000. So here's a quick summary of the real estate market. Right now, there are no signs of a crash coming. We still have a shortage of homes because new construction is currently behind on building. The Great Recession of 2008 is called great for a reason. It's a once in a century recession. Home values are still expected to increase, so it's better to buy now and refinance later. Okay, so let's turn to the home buying process. What we're going to cover today is when to start shopping, finding the right property, getting your offer accepted, protecting yourself from getting screwed, and taking advantage of the due diligence period. If you're looking to time your home purchase just right, here are a few things you need to know. The average home buyer views 3 to 7 homes before they find the one they want to make an offer on. The average time it takes to buy a home from start to finish is 94 days. Multiple offers are still a real thing, even in today's real estate market. Negotiations can take a day or they can take several days, depending on the complexity of the transaction. And once we're under contract to buy a home, closings are traditionally about 30 days. So if you're currently renting, closing on your new home after the 7th gives you the most amount of time to move. If you close on your new home at the 7th, your first payment won't be due for 2 months. So using the example to the left there, if we close on a June 7th, your first mortgage payment won't be due until August 1st. We can time your closing well before your lease ends so you don't end up with 2 house payments. A quick pro tip, check to see if you paid your last month's rent up front when you rented your current home. Now, the best way to get pre-approved for a mortgage is to apply with a reputable lender, and they're going to ask for a couple of different things that are pretty standard. So if you are salaried or you're paid hourly, they're going to ask for 30 days of pay stubs, 2 years of your W-2s, and 2 years of tax returns, including all schedules. Lastly, they will also ask for 30 days of bank statements and retirement statements. Now, you may want to apply for your mortgage where you get your direct deposit, but this may not be the best option. There are companies out there who only specialize in home purchases, and they are really good at it. And they're good about getting you approved when you don't necessarily fit in the box. At this point, you want to get comfortable with what a monthly payment would be, and then also having enough for closing costs. Now, here is an overview of the types of loans that might suit you. There's the FHA loan, the conventional loan, the VA loan, and then there's also down payment assistance programs out there. Essentially, with each of these programs, the down payment will be a lot less than 20% down. And in some cases, you won't need any money down. You want to meet with a reputable lender, and they will help you decide which loan option is best for you. Here's a quick hypothetical question. If you went to the doctor's office with a headache and they recommended brain surgery without asking any questions and examining your situation, would you panic? I would too. So in real estate, this is the equivalent of shopping for a home before sitting down with your real estate agent, before having a real conversation about your needs and what you want in a home. So before you start shopping for a home, you definitely want to sit down and have a home buyer consultation. This consultation is all about you. It's about your lifestyle, what community you want to live in, the school district, local amenities, the local real estate market, and the conditions and everything in between. The homebuyer consultation is a simple way of being proactive. It would actually save us time by taking 20 to 60 minutes in the beginning and discussing and going over all the things that you want and need in a home. We will also explain the home buying process in detail and how it matches your timeline and the plan that we put together for you. Once you're pre-approved and you've sat down and have had a conversation with the real estate broker, you're going to want to know where the great deals at. And there's a lot of information when you search the web. There's a lot of portal sites out there, but what you want to do is actually get connected with the MLS. This allows us to get very detailed into your search parameters. That way we can serve you the houses that meet and check all the boxes that you want. So when you're searching for a home, there's a couple things that you want to have a little bit of caution with, and that's open houses for sell by owners and new construction homes. Open houses are about 7% of homes are actually sold through the open house. They're actually used as a way to generate customers for the agent that is there. So a pro tip is if you decide to go to open house, use your agent's information to sign in and they won't bug you. Generally, for sell by owners want to make the most amount of money, and that's why they don't want you to have an agent to represent you. So be cautious with that. Definitely, you want to have someone working on your behalf to get you the best deal. When you're looking for a good deal and you end up on a new construction home site, there's typically a salesperson there. Just know that that salesperson does not represent your best interests. They actually represent the builder's best interests. And so you want to proceed with a little bit of caution with that in order for you to get the best deal. So once you're in the property, here are 5 questions you should ask. Does the floor plan work for my lifestyle? Is there room to grow? Is there space to store my belongings? Is this home priced by a professional? And how does the neighborhood show? These are 5 questions that will get you started in on whether or not this home will fit your needs and your lifestyle and whether or not you should make an offer on it. When you finally find that home that you want to make an offer on, you want to make a offer that stands out. And here are 4 things that you can negotiate when making the best offer. You can negotiate the purchase price. You can negotiate the closing date. You can also negotiate whether or not you pay the closing costs or the seller pays the closing costs. And then also you can negotiate the contingencies, including the financing contingency, the inspection contingency, and the title contingency, and a few others out there. So how do you write a winning offer? Writing an attractive offer doesn't mean that it has to be all cash. There are many other ways to get your offer to stand out above the crowd if you're in a multiple offer situation. Here are a few options to consider. Quickly close the deal if time is of importance. Remove addendums and contingencies on the deal if possible. Give the seller a bonus. Free rent back for a limited amount of time. Have the buyer cover the taxes on the deal. You could cover broker fees on the deal. You could cover moving fees for the seller, cover the title fees for the closing of the deal. You could also send a letter of the heart to the seller. Now that we have gotten our offer accepted on the home of our dreams, it's time to do the home inspection. Now, what to expect during this process is that the home inspector will look over the entire home, including the roof, the crawl space, the basement, the windows. It will run the dishwasher. It will inspect to see if there's any leaks, any of the sort when it comes to the home. They will give you a report, and this report will give you an idea of maintenance items, deferred maintenance items, and things that are major problems. Now, there are some costs associated with the home inspector. It's an upfront cost ranging anywhere from around $475 towards $900, depending on if you have other inspections that you want to add to the general home inspection. There are other types of inspections that you can get on the home, including a sewer line inspection or a chimney inspection. Now, what if the home isn't perfect? And guess what? Even in new construction homes, you'll find that each home has its own quirks and isn't perfect. So there are four different options, actually five. First option is you can purchase the home as is, no repairs. Option number two, you can negotiate repairs to be completed by a licensed professional at the seller's expense. You can negotiate purchase price or closing costs to be included. Option number four, you can negotiate a combination of repairs and closing costs or a lower purchase price. And option number five is to go, you know what? This house has issues I'm not willing to take on, and I'm going to walk away from this purchase. The appraisal is different than the inspection. The appraisal is actually going to look to give your home a value, and we're going to make sure that the amount that you decided to purchase the home at is the value of the home. So if the appraisal comes in higher, we're going to proceed and you're walking into the home with equity. If the appraisal comes in at the purchase price, then we're going to proceed knowing that you're paying exactly what it's worth. But if the appraisal comes in low, things can get a little tricky. So what if the appraisal comes in low? The bank will only finance what the value of the home is at the time it's appraised. So there's three options. Option one, we can renegotiate the purchase price. Option number two, we can cancel. And option number three, you as the buyer can choose to pay the difference between the purchase price and the appraised value of the home. So once you have negotiated the inspection, the appraisal came in just right, we're going to be looking towards closing. So there's a few things to note before closing. The first thing is the final walkthrough. 3 to 5 days prior to your closing date, you're going to walk through the property with your agent to make sure there a couple things were done correctly. So one, you want to make sure that the repairs were done correctly that you asked for. You're going to want to make sure they're moved out, the property is clean. You want to make sure there's no holes in the property before you move in. This is a great time to bring a measuring tape to make sure that your new couch will fit perfectly in your new space. The other thing to be watching out for is the closing disclosure. This is the last document you get from your lender about 4 days prior to closing. And this will be all the numbers there, your payment, your interest rate, and how much to bring to closing if you have to pay closing costs. Lastly, you will have signing scheduled about a day before the actual closing date. The escrow company will give you a call, bring you into the office, and there will be some paperwork there for you to sign for your new home. So here's where home buyers get stuck. This is what they say. They say, I should wait one more year because I don't quite feel ready. What I recommend is that you schedule a consultation. This consultation will help you figure out an actual plan because waiting too long could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, especially when home prices are increasing. Some home buyers get stuck because they say, I'm going to wait till the market crashes. Right now, there's no indicators saying that the real estate market is going to crash because there is a housing shortage. Home prices will increase, and with there being a shortage in supply, and the demand being high, the market is very healthy right now. If you're stuck because you don't know if you have enough money saved up, Your next step is to talk to a reputable lender. You never know, but there is a lot of down payment assistance programs out there. And actually, the current ones in Washington state are meant to help 95% of the families out there. Your situation is unique, and the lender will be able to answer all of your questions about your situation. Now, do you remember feeling like this before we got started? These guys here, a little in over their head, but now that we've gone through the home buying process, the real estate market, hopefully you feel comfortable and confident about buying your next home. So I know we went over a lot. So just to remind you of today's objective was to make sure that you feel comfortable about the home buying process and also go over all the costly mistakes that home buyers make. So if we were able to make you feel comfortable and confident about the home buying process, please let us know because that's exactly why we're here. We want to give you enough information so that you feel comfortable and confident when making the decision to buy a home. We're here to guide you and take care of those details. If you were to choose to buy your home with us, this is what you'll get. First, you'll get the home buying blueprint. This will lay out exactly the plan and make it easy for you to buy your next home and make sure that you don't wake up at 2 a.m. and have that anxiety feeling what's going on and trying to figure out what's going to happen next. We'll also give you a home warranty if you choose to buy us and let us know that you watched this video. We'll also give you a money playbook checklist to make sure that you budget for your new home and you're all set for your new monthly payment and then everything that comes with the maintenance of a home. We'll also give you our vendor list. We've vetted over the last 7 years companies and people that we've worked with to ensure that you get trusted and valued contractors, plumbers, electricians, landscapers, you name it. We got it. So it's on our list. You get it. We'll also give you real estate wealth building tools. This is a monthly report. It actually goes over your home value. You also will be able to discover how to pay less interest on your mortgage. And it'll also give you some tools like, if you want to actually rent it out or turn your primary home into an Airbnb, this tool will help you decide those factors. And lastly, we'll put together our VIP agreement. This makes sure that you understand how we work. This is an agreement between us, and it shows our loyalty to making sure you're successful in your home buying purchase. And so here's a quick summary of what you get. You get the home buying blueprint, a home warranty that's worth over $495. You get the money playbook checklist. You'll get our exclusive vendor list. And then you also get a real estate wealth building tool that is valued at about $395 per year. And you get that for your entire time. And then also we'll give you the VIP agreement as well. Here are the next steps. First, book your home buyer consultation with us. And then from there, we'll put together a plan to do all of the next steps. Thank you for joining us in this workshop. I'm super excited for your journey to buying your next home. If you want to contact us, here are a few different ways to reach us. And I look forward to hearing your success stories that you share.